You probably suspect this already. Certain moments in your life have felt too exact, too precise, too mathematically perfect to be called coincidence. Maybe you randomly remembered an old friend and your phone buzzed with their message 2 minutes later. Maybe you stared at the clock and saw the exact same repeating number again and again until it started to feel like something was trying to talk to you. Maybe you crossed paths with someone who appeared at the perfect moment with the exact information or help you needed before you even asked. These kinds of moments have a strange fragrance to them. Not chaos, not randomness, but precision. Almost like life is briefing you. Almost like reality is whispering in a coded language. And the problem is not that the language doesn't exist. The problem is we never learned how to read it. Most people ignore these signals. They shrug these moments off, laugh, call them weird, call them random, and then continue living inside the same boring script they've been conditioned into. But here is the uncomfortable question you must consider. Are these events actually random, or is your consciousness participating in something far more intelligent than you were ever told? When you look back at the most meaningful turning points in your life, relationships, breakthroughs, collapses, sudden shifts, the exact moment everything changed, can you honestly say they were accidents? Or did they arrive the moment your inner state started shifting? This is the hidden challenge of the human condition. Most people are participating in the creation of their life without even knowing that they are creating it. They feel helpless while at the same time broadcasting signals into the field of potential that pull very specific events toward them. It is like a person who keeps tuning a radio to a certain frequency and then gets shocked that the same kind of music keeps playing. Life responds to the frequency, not the excuse. Reality mirrors the assumption, not the complaint. This is why two people in the exact same city with the same age, same education, same opportunities in front of them can live two entirely different outcomes. Your inner climate shapes the external weather. Your invisible emotional baseline shapes the visible sequence of events that unfold ahead of you. What looks like luck on the outside is usually a subconscious state that has been sustained long enough to pull a certain type of outcome into clarity. We are not passive witnesses in this world. We are transmitters. And here is where things get interesting, because modern research has already forced the scientific world into uncomfortable territory. The double-slit experiment in quantum physics demonstrated that particles behave differently when they are observed. The act of attention influences the arrangement of reality. And this is not just in a laboratory. Think about how that applies to your life. When something is occupying your mind consistently, your attention is repeated observation. And repeated observation is like a magnet that selects one specific version of reality out of many possibilities. You have already experienced this. You were thinking about a particular car model, and suddenly you started seeing it everywhere. You were considering a lifestyle change, and suddenly people who live that lifestyle started appearing around you. Your brain didn't create those events. It simply tuned you into them, and life responded by collapsing certain outcomes into your path. The deeper principle is this: your inner state is not locked inside you. It leaks into the field of possibilities around you and influences which possibilities become solid. This is not mystical romanticism. This is feedback. When your internal condition matches a certain type of event, life arranges the timing, the conversations, the symbols, the people to match you. This is why the same person can enter two different relationships and behave like two different humans. The state you occupy determines which version of another person you get. You are not interacting with an external world. You are interacting with your reflection. People feel this at a gut level but never articulate it. There are days when everything flows. Doors open. Approvals go through. Conversations click. And then there are days where the world feels like sandpaper. Every tiny task becomes friction. Yet the world didn't change. The state changed. And the state changed the world you experienced. Here is the trap most people fall into. They think synchronicity is something rare, something mysterious, something supernatural. In reality, it is happening constantly. Synchronicity is simply the visible evidence that your internal and external are lining up with each other. People call it coincidence because their conscious mind didn't notice the buildup. Synchronicity is what happens when your inner assumption becomes loud enough that reality can no longer ignore it. It is the moment the invisible becomes concrete. A symbol repeating. A conversation arriving at the perfect hour. A person entering your life exactly when the plot demands them. The universe doesn't speak English, Hindi, Spanish, or French. It speaks pattern. It speaks timing. It speaks symbols. You learned spoken language, but you never learned the language of reality. And this is the reason most people miss their own turning points. They wait for logic to approve what intuition already whispered. They demand proof from a universe that only begins to reveal proof when you show conviction first. Synchronicities do not appear to convince you. They appear to confirm you. If someone spends their day in insecurity, they attract events that confirm their insecurity. If someone spends their day in dignity, life reflects dignity back at them. We attract not what we want, but what we are. Your dominant emotional tone is like a transmitter, constantly sending out a signal. And this signal begins shaping who enters your life, what opportunities suddenly open, what objects cross your path, what numbers repeat, what conversations you overhear. Life is not silent. We are simply not trained to listen. When you dismiss symbols, you miss directions. When you ignore inner nudges, you ignore navigation. Think back on your own history. You've already felt it. There have been moments where something inside you knew exactly what was coming, before a single external sign existed. How many times have you said, "I don't know why, but I just know this is going to happen." And then it did. What if that inner knowing is not imagination? What if it is perception? Think of the human nervous system like an antenna. It receives signals from a field of potential. Some people are tuned to fear. Some people are tuned to lack. Some people are tuned to neutrality. Some people are tuned to inevitability. And each tuning produces a different style of synchronicity. Fear creates warnings. Faith creates openings. Despair creates chaos. Self-trust creates precision. Life doesn't choose the tuning. You do. And here is where the main challenge begins. Most people are broadcasting unintentionally. Their internal state is created by whatever is happening around them. They react to conditions. They allow the world to set their frequency. And then they complain that the world keeps showing them the same reality. But the moment you choose your state consciously and sustain it, you begin to influence the bridge of events ahead of you. The bridge is the timeline of seemingly unrelated incidents that carry you from the current you to the version of you that your inner state is matching. When you decide who you are before the world confirms it, the world eventually bends into alignment. You ask for certainty. Life asks for assumption. You want signs before belief. Life waits for belief before signs. This is why the most powerful moment of your day is the moment right before you fall asleep. In that tiny window, your conscious mind is dissolving, logic is quiet, and the feeling you fall asleep with slips directly into the subconscious. That feeling becomes the baseline state you carry into the next day. And that state shapes the timing, the coincidences, the symbols, the triggers, the openings in the following hours. People destroy their manifestations not because they lack imagination, but because they fall asleep in fear, in doubt, in emptiness. The state before sleep is like planting a seed into the soil. Once planted, you do not dig it up in the morning to check if it is growing. You trust the unseen. You water the feeling with consistency. And then life begins to rearrange itself. Not instantly, but precisely. Signs appear first, not the outcome. Those signs tell you, continue. Do not collapse the state. Do not shift into doubt. This is where most sabotage occurs. When the first signals appear, instead of trusting them, people panic, overthink, or overanalyze. They ask, is this really happening? Is this real, or is this just my mind? And in that moment, they snap the timeline. When doubt becomes dominant, the bridge starts dissolving. Life matches the new frequency. This is why emotional consistency is more powerful than emotional intensity. 1 second of intense faith does nothing if 12 hours of the day are spent in fear. Reality listens to your average, not your highlight moments. This is the secret that separates people who constantly meet meaningful coincidence from people who live inside chaos. They sustain a chosen inner state, long enough for reality to crystallize it. This is discipline at the level of consciousness. Not forcing, not effort, not desperation, but gentle, steady, calm assumption. Like a person who knows the package is already shipped and simply waits for the delivery truck to arrive. You must understand something very clearly. Your life is not responding to your goals. It is responding to your state. Every time you see a symbolic repetition, it is not random. Every time the same numbers appear, it is not random. Every time two events collide in perfect timing, it is not random. It is feedback. It is calibration. It is alignment confirmation. It is life saying, stay with this state. Synchronicity is not magic. Synchronicity is measurement. It measures how aligned your inner world is with the branch of reality that is forming. There are people who wait their entire lives for luck to strike without ever realizing that luck is simply the physical name for internal alignment. If you learn to consciously inhabit the right states, the universe will not whisper subtle hints anymore. It will shout them. Now reflect on this moment. You are hearing these words right now for a reason. There is something inside you that is ready to stop sleepwalking through life. Some part of you is tired of random drifting. You want precision. You want direction. You want clarity. The first step is simple. Start noticing. Do not brush off that repeating number. Do not dismiss that inner nudge. Do not call intuition a coincidence. Begin paying attention, not obsessively, but consciously, to how life responds to your inner condition. No one can do this for you. You must become an active participant in your own storyline. So, here is the question I want you to sit with tonight before you close your eyes and fall asleep. What state must you occupy consistently so that the events in your future begin to rearrange themselves in your favor? Because the future is not waiting for permission. It is waiting for instruction. And instruction is not spoken through words. Instruction is spoken through being. What state must you occupy so that the events in your future begin to rearrange themselves in your favor? Let's answer it now, not in theory, but in practice, so you can feel the difference in your day, your timing, and your encounters. Start with something simple and honest. Choose a state you can actually carry. Not a fantasy, not a scream of need. A steady inner climate you can return to again and again without effort. For most people, 3 baseline states work best: calm certainty, quiet gratitude, and gentle dignity. Calm certainty says, I don't need to chase outcomes. They are already on their way. Quiet gratitude says, what I have is not missing. More will meet me because I already notice what's here. Gentle dignity says, I treat myself well inside, and the world mirrors that treatment outside. Pick one. Say it out loud. Feel how your body changes when you wear it like clothing. This is your broadcast. Now, let's install it. The most powerful doorway, as we said, is the moment before sleep. In the last 7 minutes of the night, lie on your back, hands on your abdomen or at your sides, and bring up the feeling of your chosen state. Don't force pictures. Let a simple scene carry it. A short, ordinary scene that would be true if your state were already real. If your state is calm certainty about money, you don't need to picture piles of cash. Feel the ordinary relief of paying a bill easily and then going for a walk after dinner without that tightness in your chest. Hear the quiet click of a door closing as you step into a home that feels settled. That's enough. The scene isn't the point. The feeling is the point. Repeat the same tiny scene for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then allow yourself to drift. Let the feeling be the last thing you know. In the morning, don't grab your phone right away. Before the world starts asking for you, give yourself 90 seconds to find the state again. Breathe slowly, in for 4, out for 6, and feel your ribs soften. Whisper your sentence, calm certainty, quiet gratitude, or gentle dignity. That's it. Now stand up and begin your day from there. 2 things will happen within 48 hours if you keep this simple rhythm. First, small signals will appear. A message from a person you were going to reach out to. A bill that turns out lower than you expected. A conversation that lands exactly where you needed it. This is not the final outcome. It's a nod from the field. Stay with it. Second, you will meet your own old momentum. The mind will offer anxious thoughts, quick doubts, loops of what if. Don't fight them. Don't argue. Just return to the state, the way a lighthouse keeps its beam steady while waves crash. You are retraining a habit. Habits fade with disuse, not debate. You will want to check constantly if it's working. That urge is the oldest trap. Checking is the state of doubt. Doubt calls more doubt. Instead, create a rule. I do not check. I collect. Collect signals. Collect confirmations. Collect small tidings that fit your chosen line. Write them down. This is not superstition. It is measurement. Keep a short log in a simple notebook or in the Notes app on your phone. Date, chosen state, and 3 observations from the day that fit. The bus that arrived the moment you stepped outside. The coworker who solved a problem you thought would take hours. The coffee paid for by the person in front of you for no reason. You don't have to force meaning onto everything. Just collect. Within 2 weeks, you will see clusters. Timing will tighten. Encounters will line up. Confidence will grow for the only reason confidence should grow, because you can see the pattern with your own eyes. Now, learn the difference between 4 kinds of events you'll start noticing more clearly. Warnings feel like gentle brakes applied by an unseen hand. Emails that don't send, doors that don't open, meetings that keep moving. Don't bulldoze through these. Step back. Ask, what state am I in right now? Often you'll see that the push came from fear or hurry. Shift the state first. If the path still matters after your state is clean, it will open by itself. Confirmations feel like green lights in sequence. You think of someone and they text. You need a resource and it appears. You were worried about timing and everything lands within minutes. When you see 3 confirmations in a short span, double down on the state. Don't switch, don't tweak, hold. Prophetic hints arrive as a dream or a flash of inner sight that carries a strange certainty. You wake with a sentence, a street name, a color, a face. Don't overinterpret, just copy it into your log with the date. Often, you'll walk into the scene within days or weeks. When you do, pause and acknowledge it. Gratitude is not only a mood, it's a stabilizer that helps you keep the station tuned. Manifestations are the solid outcomes. The offer letter, the contract signed, the relationship mended, the health number improved. When one lands, don't sprint to the next desire. Sit with it for a day or two. Let your system learn, this is what happens when I hold a state. You are teaching your nervous system to trust you. Let's talk symbols for a moment, because many people either obsess over them or ignore them completely. Symbols are like road markers along a highway. They don't drive the car, they confirm you're on the right route. Numbers repeating. Animals showing up out of usual context. Phrases on billboards or the side of buses that answer the question you were holding in your head. Books that fall open to a paragraph that addresses exactly what you were about to decide. You'll know a true marker because it arrives with timing you couldn't plan and a quiet electricity in the body, a stillness that says, pay attention, don't chase them, let them arrive. Smile, note them, and keep walking. If you want to sharpen this further, create a short daily ritual called the 3 gates. Gate 1. Body. Sit up straight, place your feet flat, and relax your jaw. Your state is not just a thought, it lives in posture, breath, and muscle tone. If your shoulders are clenched and your breath is shallow, the broadcast is confusion. A relaxed spine is a clear antenna. Give yourself 60 seconds to bring your body into line with the state you've chosen. Gate 2. Words. For the next hour after you set your state, watch your language. Remove statements that cancel your broadcast. Instead of, "This always happens to me," say nothing. Silence is better than a sentence that pushes you into the ditch. When you must speak, let it match the tone of your state. Steady, brief, warm. Gate 3. Attention. Choose a single anchor for the day. One simple object or cue that reminds you of your state. A ring, a scent, a lock screen image, a song without lyrics, a line from a poem. Every time you notice the anchor, breathe once and feel the state for 5 seconds. You will hit this 10 to 20 times in a normal day without trying. That is enough to keep you tuned. You'll still have days that wobble. A plan will fall through. Someone will treat you poorly. You'll feel your chest tighten. Here is what to do when that happens. Withdraw for 2 minutes if possible. Go to the bathroom, step outside, or close your eyes at your desk. Place your hand on your abdomen and ask, "What am I broadcasting right now?" Name it. Naming brings it from fog into form. If you can, stand up and shake your arms and shoulders for 15 seconds to break the physical pattern. Then return to one of the 3 baseline states. Whisper its sentence. Breathe. Re-enter the room slowly. You didn't fix the world. You fixed the only thing you truly control, the station you're tuned to. Watch what follows. Now a word about desire and pressure. Desire is natural. Pressure is the signal that you are trying to make the field move by force. Force creates resistance. If you notice urgency rising, the feeling that if this one thing doesn't happen, everything will collapse, release the timeline. Say, better or better. Either this outcome or something cleaner will arrive. This is not an excuse. It's a posture that keeps your channel open. What about other people? You cannot dictate another person's choices, but your state influences the version of them you meet. If you constantly brace for criticism, you will meet a critic. If you carry quiet respect, you will meet the part of them that recognizes it. Or you will find yourself no longer sitting at tables where respect is impossible. Both are wins. Conversations are a powerful arena to test this. Before a tough call or meeting, sit for 90 seconds and feel the end of the conversation as warm and settled. Don't script every sentence. Feel the tone at the end. Then speak simply and listen more than you talk. Watch how often the other person begins to mirror the tone you're holding. What about money? Treat it as a relationship, not a villain or a savior. Notice the phrases you use. It's never enough. It disappears. I'm always behind. Change those phrases quietly and consistently. Replace them with, money circulates to me and through me cleanly, or my needs are covered and my plans are funded step by step. Pair that with calm, practical action. Pay one small bill early, put aside a tiny sum the day income arrives, write down outflows for a week without judgment. Order inside attracts order outside. The field loves clean instruction. Health? Your cells listen to tone. If you tell yourself each morning, my body can't handle this, your body will show you evidence that your words have authority. Shift to soft leadership. My body repairs while I rest. Strength returns while I breathe. Today, I feed my blood with movement and kind food. Combine that with one small act, a 10-minute walk after lunch, a glass of water before coffee, an earlier bedtime twice a week. Signals and matter sync when you behave like someone who believes the repair is already underway. Relationships? Stop rehearsing old fights in your head. That rehearsal keeps the conflict alive. Try a quiet practice at night called revision. Take a moment from the day that felt sharp, the eye roll, the sarcastic tone, the door closed a little too hard, and replay it softly the way you wish it had gone. Not to gaslight yourself, to give your nervous system a new pattern to carry into tomorrow. Often the other person will show up the next day acting closer to the revised scene without knowing why. Don't make a big speech about it. Smile and keep building the new baseline. Dreams deserve a short section of their own. Keep a pen and paper by your bed. If you wake with a sentence, a symbol, a location, write it immediately before your daytime mind edits it. Don't try to decode everything. Often, the meaning will reveal itself when the symbol appears during the day. A street sign, a logo, a line someone says. When dream and day rhyme, you are very close to the seam where the invisible meets the visible. Stay gentle there. Force scatters it. Quiet pulls it closer. One more practice will save you months of frustration, the 48-hour window. When you set a clear state at night and in the morning, give life 2 days to show you momentum before you switch strategies. People ruin their own sequence by hopping from one method to another every few hours. 2 days is long enough for small bridges to start forming and short enough to keep you engaged. At the end of the window, review your log. If you see 2 or more confirmations, extend the same state for another 48 hours. If you see warnings and no confirmations, don't panic. Adjust your state from push to calm certainty and repeat the window. Now, because you care about being honest with yourself, here are the 3 most common forms of self-sabotage you'll face and how to meet them. First, the "I'll believe it when I see it" reflex. This posture sounds smart but keeps you stuck. Flip it. I'll see it when I live it. Not perform it, not pretend it, live it, even in small actions and tones. Second, The doom scroll and the crisis diet. You already know that flooding your nervous system with alarms at random hours wrecks your tone. Set tight fences. News only once a day from a source you trust. Social apps off the first hour of the morning and the last hour of the night. Replace that time with quiet or reading something that matches your chosen state. Third, the chorus of other people's opinions. Everyone carries a broadcast. Spend more time with people whose baseline is steady. Reduce time with those who feed chaos. If you can't change the circle right now, change your inputs. Podcasts, books, long walks. You are allowed to curate your atmosphere. In fact, you must. Now let's talk courage. Not the loud kind, the daily kind. Courage is choosing your state on boring Tuesdays when nobody is watching. Courage is telling the truth kindly. Courage is holding your center when a plan shifts. Courage is asking for help without self-insult. Courage is knowing you can begin again at 3:40 p.m. after a messy morning. This is not theater. This is craft. If at any point you feel lost, return to the smallest unit of progress. 1 breath in 4, 1 breath out 6, 1 sentence that matches your state, 1 ordinary act that a person in that state would do. You are not trying to bend the universe with strain. You are letting the world meet you where you truly are, because you finally decided where that is. Soon, you will notice something quiet and astonishing. You no longer chase timing. Timing begins to chase you. The right email lands while you're away from your desk, and you find it at the exact minute the sender is still online. The seat opens on the flight you wanted 15 minutes before boarding. The person who could have ignored your message answers with warmth. You will recognize this rhythm not because it's loud, but because it feels familiar, like a song you heard as a child and forgot you knew. Don't boast about it, don't post about it, live it, protect it, let it become your normal. And when people ask what you're doing differently, you can tell them the simplest truth. I stopped waiting for the world to give me a state, and I started giving a state to the world. One final piece. Many folks try to carry 10 intentions at once. That scatters the signal. For the next 21 days, choose one theme only. Money flow, health repair, relationship harmony, creative output. Pick one, hold one, build one bridge well, then choose another. This isn't lack, it's precision. The field favors clear instruction. Tonight, when you lie down, bring your chosen state to the front of your chest like a warm coin. Feel it heating your sternum and spreading outward. Let a short, ordinary scene carry it. Fall asleep there. In the morning, find it again before you touch a single app. Set your 3 gates. Walk into the day with a softer jaw and kinder words. Collect what arrives. Adjust gently when you wobble. Repeat. This is not about being perfect. It's about being steady. And steady is rare in a world trained to panic. You are not begging life to notice you. You are learning to speak the language life already uses: state, timing, symbol, encounter. When you speak it, life speaks back, not once, but again and again, until the pattern is too clear to deny. I'll leave you with this. You don't need louder faith. You need quieter repetition. You don't need to move the mountain in one day. You need to become the person for whom the path around the mountain always appears. And you don't need to hope for a sign. You are the sign. Carry this with you into tonight. What simple, steady state will you fall asleep in? And who will you become by holding it for the next 48 hours?